Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for my Big Fish card of the month for the month of September 2022. And this is a little project in case you missed the earlier videos that I embarked on this year to celebrate my 15th year back in the hobby as an adult and also my 40th birthday, which occurred earlier this month. And so for the entirety of 2022, tried to land one big card at least each month. And by big card, I'm on a limited budget. I mean, card that's over $200 in cost, which to me is a big card. And I've been successful so far through the first 8 months. And it's time to unveil the card for the 9th month of September. And you can tell by the backdrop here, it is going to be a hockey card. I've been on a baseball kick for the last couple months, but I do sort of alternate. Baseball and hockey are my two favorite sports. And within hockey, been trying to focus a little bit on that early 80s Edmonton Oilers dynasty. They were, one of the greatest teams ever to play the game in the history of the NHL, and been trying to pick up some key cards that I'm missing on that front. So in the background here, we have one of my most prized cards in my entire hockey collection, my Wayne Gretzky Topps rookie on the left. And then on the right, we have one of the Big Fish card of the months from earlier this year. One of the first ones, maybe even the first one that I did way back at the beginning of the year, the 1980 O-Pee-Chee Mark Messier rookie PSA 8. So beauty there. Love the centering on this. And the reason that one is out is because today's card is also from the 1980-81 O-Pee-Chee set. And you can probably guess at this point that it is Wayne Gretzky. So here's the card that I was fortunate enough to pick up. I won this just this past month on a best offer. This is a second year great one, Wayne Gretzky. His rookie, of course, came in 1979. This is a 1980. So this is a second year, and this is the O-Pee-Chee, not the Topps. And this card is cool for a number of reasons. Really, the primary reason I was after it, it does pair nicely with the Messier rookie. These are very, very similar condition versions. One being a 7.5, one being an 8. Centering is good on both. I think these just look great paired together. And these are probably the two most important Oilers cards that you could get in the 80 O-Pee-Chee release. So really happy to have this Gretzky at last. I have never owned this in my collecting life. I do have the Topps version. Topps and O-Pee-Chee, if you know or remember, produced their own hockey sets every year for a few decades there. And the Topps version, is a little bit cheaper. The O-Pee-Chee is a little bit more expensive, and so I never had it until now. Topps in 1980 did this crazy gimmick where this puck was actually like a scratch-off material, like you'd see on like a scratch-off lottery ticket. It was not well received and is generally disliked even to this day by most collectors, and so the O-Pee-Chee version is much preferred, particularly in 1980. As it just, there were no scratch-offs. This is just the way it looks here is the way it came out of the pack. The back of the card essentially looks the same as the Topps counterpart, except it is that brighter O-Pee-Chee cardstock. And aside from wanting to work on the Oilers dynasty from the early 80s, really the other reason, and probably the primary reason that I grabbed this card, is I really want to complete a run of graded Wayne Gretzky cards, similar to what I'm trying to do with Mickey Mantle and Hank Aaron on the baseball front, that starts with his 79 rookie and proceeds all the way through like the early 90s, either the 91 or the 92 set where Topps and O-Pee-Chee kind of stopped being a thing and classic cardstock went away and things like that. So those first maybe, say, 12 or 13 years of Gretzky's career, I would love to get all of those Topps and O-Pee-Chee cards in PSA slabs and get a nice little early career playing run of his. And in looking that over recently, it was very apparent that this O-Pee-Chee card, this second year O-Pee-Chee, was the single biggest card that I was missing in that run. And so decided that with this being my year to get a Big Fish card every month, and that being a pretty gaping hole in my Gretzky run and my overall hockey collection, now was the time to put this to bed. And I spent a lot of time, as I do with any big purchase, researching pricing, watching auctions, start and end and come and go, and looking at sold prices and accepted best now offers over the last few months, and taking things into consideration like centering, which is really big for me and is really, really tough on this 1980 set. And at the end of the day, I felt that this card here, this 7.5 was the example for me. I think the primary reason this card got a 7.5, I don't know if it'll come across on video. I think it will, but the upper left corner is just a touch fuzzed or a little fuzzy. Aside from that, it is gorgeous. And to me, the centering is what spoke to me here. Very, very difficult to find this card in well-centered condition. So I got this for what I think is a steal. I think the 7.5 grade kind of helped me. This was quite a bit cheaper than a lot of the 8s that I saw out there, but in my mind, it actually presents even a little better than a lot of those 8s. But it's still a high grade example of this card that I think will really retain its value over the years for something that I invested a decent amount of money in. So really happy with it. Pumped to put the second year Gretzky to bed. Certainly appreciate you stopping by to check it out, spend a few minutes with me here on the channel, and I will absolutely be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, enjoy the hobby and take care.